everyone, it's Gail Banks with Gail Banks Creates. Welcome to my channel. I want to thank all of my subscribers for all your love and support. I truly appreciate it. Guys, I'm on today to share my makes into two hashtags. Hashtag satmornmakes, which is hosted by Jillian Norwood at Greenwood Girl Cards and Designs, and hashtag Two Crafters One Design, which is hosted by Melissa at Moe Creations, Gloria at girliascards, and Lisa at UCYIMADIVA. Hashtag Two Crafters One Design always has a theme each week. Now their theme for this week was anything Tim Holtz, but their theme the previous week was Christmas, and the week before that was Angel, and the week before that was Coffee. So I am playing a little bit of catch up with my projects. Hashtag Two Crafters One Design is on vacation, and when they return the first Saturday in January, which I believe is the second or the third, let me see, the first, second, I think it's the third, their theme will be Maker's Choice. So let me share with you what I use to create everything to catch myself up with their themes. I have picked this up from Ollie's, this Cricket Joy insert cards, and I used the silver one because you get them in these. You get gray, silver holographic, and then white, and I used the silver holographic. I used these Katie Sue Designs Christmas banners. I used the scalloped oval nesting dies from Diamond Press. I used this stitch rectangle die from was the Stamps of Life. Here is my Tim Holtz die, the Joy and Noel, and it's called Big Tidings. For my coffee, I used these dies that I had picked up from Amazon. They're Globland, and that's what the die creates. And then I picked up a matching set of stamps. Okay, I did use an embossing folder, and my embossing folder is this 3D embossing folder from Spellbinders called Flurry of Snowflakes. For all my different papers, I used this paper pad from Michael's Craftsmith, which is classic vintage. Christmas Floral from Cartabella Collection Kit. And for coffee, I used this Echo Park Coffee Collection Kit. Okay, so I'm going to start with what I created for my coffee theme. And I did some coffee embellishments. Okay, let me move it here so you can really see it. These are my embellishments. And I did some ATC cards. Okay, so let me give you a closer look at the embellishments. They're all the same, except, I use different paper. That's what it looks like. This is the paper from the Echo Park Coffee Collection Kit. This is just some foil. I think that's Anna Griffin foil I had in my stash. The coffee came in that Globland die set, and I used a little bit of bling here. That's the first one. Here's the second one. And this white is a Snow White paper from Crafter's Companion. Here's my third one. And that foil is Anna Griffin. And here's the last one. Oh, and I had some black foil in my stash, and I used that there. Okay, so here's my first ATC card, and it's on 110-pound cardstock, and the ATC is just 2.5 by 3.5 that you can create some pieces of work. Foil came from Anna Griffin. Here's the paper from that coffee collection, and that was a cut apart that I cut apart and I mounted it up. So that's the first ATC. Here's the second ATC, and this is a stickers that I used out of collection kit, and this was a cut apart, and this was some stickers from the collection kit. And all I did was round the corners with a corner punch. I didn't round them. I think it's called stub. And last but not least, here is this one. Now, here is where I used the stamp set from Globland. And this right here was just some stickers I had sitting on my desk, and they kind of went together. And I cut out the coffee cup. That's some black foil. And then I mounted it up. So these are the ATCs for the theme coffee. And these are the embellishments. Now, give me a moment. I'm going to share with you my next project. Okay, here is my next project. And my next project, I combined two, Angel and Christmas. And the Angel, I cut that out on my Cricut, out of my Cricut design space. So let me give you a closer look. It's an A2 size card. I used some gold glitter I had in my stash. Here's where I used that Snowflake Flurry embossing folder from Spellbinders. This is the Cartabella paper. This is where I used the scallop edge. And that's that Katie Sue Merry Christmas die cuts. And then I put a little bit of bling on it. And that's what it looks like on the inside. And that's where I use that Stamps of Life die to put it on the inside. So that is where I took Angel and their theme Christmas and combined them together. So if you hold on, I'm going to show you what I'd use with my Tim Holtz. Okay, I created two A2 size cards using a Tim Holtz Sizzix die called Big Tidings. So one, I just, just oriented them differently. So let me give you a closer look. So here's this one, and I put it on 110-pound craft cardstock. This is the paper from that, what was that Michael's paper pad? It was called Classic Vintage. And I used some silver glitter out of my stash, which says Noel. And I did kind of ink around the Noel with some vintage photo, Distress Oxide. The little trees were in, and the stars were in that kit. Not the kit, in the die set from Tim Holtz. And I also, here I used some silver holographic foil. And then on the inside is where I just used the Stamps of Life rectangle stitch die. So that's Noel. Here is Joy. I think they came out really, really pretty. I used a holographic foil here, and then the Joy. You see I made a little bit of a boo-boo there, but I was inking the edges and I slipped. And the Holly Berries came in the die set. This is the paper from the Classic Vintage Michael's Craftsmith, sorry. And this was just some red bling I had in my stash. And you open it up, and that's where I used that Stamps of Life rectangle die, stitch rectangle die. So guys, those are my makes. This is Tim Holtz. This is Angel and Christmas. 2 weeks combined together. And this is my coffee theme. As I said, hashtag 2Crafters1Design will be back the first Saturday in January. Their theme is Maker's Choice. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Why don't you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to be notified of new video uploads. Leave a comment below. I will respond to my comments. I want you guys to continue to be safe, continue to take care of one another, and I will see you in the next one. And I'm wishing you and your families happy holidays. Bye, everyone.